Okay, it's me again, Keith from Patriot Warrior Media, attached to the Oath Keepers in Florida, covering the hurricane damage. And I'm going to show you some significant damage. There's a tree that, that one missed the trailer, but they weren't so lucky. So let's come on down here. You're going to see one that smashed the trailer coming up. Almost to it. There, look at that part, look right there. That was bad. I would imagine no one was in it when it happened. Okay guys, so you've been looking through some footage from initially post-Hurricane Irma in Florida. I was there with the Oath Keepers and documenting their hurricane recovery relief efforts there, mostly in the Keys, a lot of time in Big Pine Key, all the way down to Key West, also in, I guess it's frost-free, or is it no frost? I think it's frost-free. Florida, different other places, in between, all over the state, but mostly in the Keys. So I putting this footage up as I'm talking to you about doing something different, taking my channel in a different direction. Right now, let me interrupt for a second. You're looking at climbing through the jungle in Quebradilla. There was a community that was really hard hit. I mean, the water had been about 15 feet high. It took about 2 weeks to, it didn't completely dissipate. It's still in places, it's pretty deep. So we're having to climb through the jungle right here to get to a community that's been devastated. So I want you to see this footage so that you guys know that, I do something different. Between hurricane relief in Florida to almost, that was about 3 weeks, and then almost 3 more weeks of work in Puerto Rico, particularly on the opposite side of the island of San Juan, which got all the press coverage, all the attention, and they didn't need it. Interestingly enough, all the food supplies, everything got stuck there too. I was on the exact opposite end of the island, and that's where I spent my time, climbing through the jungles, up in the hills, getting to places with the Oath Keepers, with Dr. Allison Thompson, founder of Third Wave Volunteers, bringing food, water, lamps. These solar lamps are just amazing, would last for like 10 years. You just sit them out in the sun, and for a few hours a day, and they light up a whole room for 8 hours. Anyway, so I'm getting sidetracked here. So my point is, I need to take my channel in a different direction. It's not really going anywhere right now, and there are reasons for that. Part of it is something that's has been beyond my control, having to do with Google and YouTube completely throttling my channel. So I've got some help. You guys are going to see some amazing changes with my channel, not only with the direction I'm taking, but with the success of the channel. And I think I'm going to finally start feeling like I'm going somewhere, and like this is not an exercise in futility, which is kind of what it's felt like for quite a while. So it will be good. I'm not going to spill the beans yet on the organization and person that's helping me do this, but we are literally going through my social media from top to bottom. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's YouTube, that's my blog. I can have a new blog along with the old blog. So some amazing things are happening for you guys, and if you can help support my efforts here, I would really appreciate it. I have Patreon there, which again, that's something that will need to be revamped and will be revamped, but you can always click on the PayPal button You can do a one-time donation, or you have the option of doing a monthly donation, whatever amount that doesn't break the bank. I certainly would appreciate it. I last year went to about 25 different events, including Puerto Rico and Florida. When I do these things, I don't get paid. Sometimes I'm given equipment in exchange, which the Oath Keepers were amazingly generous in that. And after all my equipment was stolen and smashed when the Antifa attacked me back in August, supporters had given me a new video camera. Oath Keepers donated just a ton of equipment so that when I went to Florida, when I went to Puerto Rico, I was more than prepared to do my job. So again, you're seeing footage of Quebradilla. I spent a lot of time in Aguadilla, Mocha. Spent a lot of time, helping one of the hospitals here. The country is it's been a complete disastrous mess, and to my knowledge, it still is. I know that the Dr. Thompson that I worked with, I know that she's still over there working like crazy hard, like she always does. So I won't be going back over there that I can see, but I also did get invited to go to Haiti next time that they go there. Whether or not I'll be able to take her up on that, I don't have any idea, but that would be a great opportunity. It would be an extremely difficult opportunity. So I have been, as some of you know, not all of you know, but I had surgery on my back, which I can't say it's been 100% effective, successful, whatever you want to call it, but definitely better than it was. There's still a few things that I've got to deal with, but things are better than they were. That's why, the last event that I went to was the J20 protest, January 20th. I was going to go to Washington, D.C. In fact, I bought my plane tickets, everything. And then silly Antifa gets cold feet because of the backlash, and they decide not to do any protesting, especially since their supporters backed out, the money backed out, and they lost they lost confidence or whatever. So they didn't show up. I was out the money. So instead, I made the trip to Portland and met with initially by myself. Then I met with Joey Gibson, and who was running for a seat. What is he? Oh, he's going to become a senator, I believe. I believe that's what he is trying to do. In fact, I think it might say on his Twitter handle, Senator Gibson. I'm not sure. So anyway, I just found out about it. Haven't been able to talk to him yet, but anyhow, so January 20th was the last event I went to. Because of issues with my back, I did have to pull out of a couple events that I would have liked to have gone to. I hope that, I'm still recovering, but I'm mostly there. So I'm hoping that this summer I'll be able to make some events. Again, I am not going to be totally focusing on Antifa. In fact, I'm trying to get my focus in completely other different directions, current events, and I'm also going to be, you'll see on the upper left-hand corner, it says Patriot Warrior Podcast. That is the new direction that I'm taking things. I have a number of podcasts that I have done. I have not posted many of them. I have an old one with Roaming Millennial before she blew up, got her own TV show and everything. I have a podcast with Mike Tokes I've yet to put up. One with Joey Gibson, which I just put snippets up. A podcast with Mike Kelly from Veterans for Trump. He's a special warfare guy, spent many years in that arena. Fascinating podcast. I've got to put that up. I have a short one with Laura Loomer that is up. I have another one with Ted Winfield, former New York police officer, which is kind of up, but I really need to work on that one. So those things are happening. Patriot Warrior Podcast. I am not going to say yet who has committed to doing a podcast with me, but there are more people that have committed, and so I will be doing more podcasts. If anybody is listening to this, watching this, and is interested, I don't necessarily do interviews. I kind of like to just make it a conversation. And sometimes I have a little bit of an outline or a little bit of a plan. Sometimes I don't. I just like to see where it goes. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. You don't necessarily have to believe in everything that I do. You don't have to be a conservative. You don't have to be anyone necessarily on the right. You can be a libertarian. You can be a liberal. If you want to have a conversation and not just come to just argue and shout me down or anything like that, then I am very interested in talking with you. So you can get in touch with me at patriotwarriormedia@gmail.com, and that's probably the best way. Or my DMs are always open on Twitter, so you can DM me on Twitter. You can reach out to me in contacts and comments on my videos. However, I frequently get very buried there, so I'm not always able to catch every comment or reply to every comment, but I always reply to my Twitter DMs. They are always open. Contact me there or email me at patriotwarriormedia@gmail.com. So you guys have a great, wonderful day. I appreciate all your support on this channel, and new and amazing things are coming, so hang tight. Thanks, guys, and God bless. God bless America.